Y'all can be seated. We can be seated. All right. Good morning, and thank you all for being here. Good morning. All right. Thank you all for being here. I am so excited to be at Maple Heights High School to share this good news and celebrate the Innovative Solar for Schools program. Thank you to Cuyahoga County Executive Ronaine, Council President Jones, Mayor Blackwell, Principal Perkins, Dr. Michael Jeans from Growth Opportunities Partners, and Interim Director Katz. I also like to acknowledge Coach Shaq Washington, the Maple Heights Mustangs football coach, as well as Miss Williams with the cheerleading coach. Can we give them a round of applause? I also see we have some folks, some members of council in the audience. I won't start to call names of folks in the audience because I will get in trouble for that. But I do want to say thank you to everyone on the Maple Heights High School team for hosting us and for all of your work helping to set up the gym and put this event together. Today's announcement is all about partnership. Having served on the county council, I know the importance of local government and the role that we all have to play in serving the public. That partnership is exemplified by this program. Solar for Schools has federal, county, school district, and nonprofit components, and we needed all of them to make this happen. Because of that partnership, we are bringing solar panels to Maple Heights High School and schools across Cuyahoga County. And this story begins back in November of 2021. On my second day in office, we passed the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, which I proudly voted for. I will remind everyone of the name, that it was a bipartisan bill. But there was also some bipartisan opposition. But there was no question in my mind that we needed to pass this bill because there was so much investment that we needed. Roads, bridges, transit, water, and energy investments like this one happening today. Because it was time to start getting things done nationally and locally. The Bipartisan Infrastructure Law puts $550 million into the Department of Energy's Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant Program, a program for state and local governments to reduce energy use, emissions, and transition to clean energy. Cuyahoga County had the vision and the plan to go out and get some of that funding. And in February, the county was awarded $557,250 to implement this new Solar for Schools program. Those funds are being awarded to school districts across our county, including here in Maple Heights, the city school district at Maple Heights High School. That's because of the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law and because we have local leaders like County Executive Ronaine, Council President Jones, and Mayor Blackwell, who all want to deliver results. And there's one more federal piece here, the Inflation Reduction Act, which I also proudly voted for, recognized that we needed to create more incentives for transitioning to clean and renewable energy. Thanks to the IRA's new elective pay option, school districts can claim energy tax credits and receive funds directly from the IRS for projects like this. Those credits help make investing in sustainable energy financially sustainable as well. And that financial piece is also backed by support from Growth Opportunity Partners, who is doing so much to help implement the Inflation Reduction Act locally. There's so much more to say about this program, and our speakers are going to get into those details. Before I yield to my good friend, County Executive Ronaine, and the rest of our speakers, I want to stress that the county's Solar for Schools program is truly innovative, impactful, and equitable. This is exactly the kind of approach we need at all levels of government. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to County Executive Ronaine.
Thank you, Congresswoman Chantel Brown. It's great to be in your district today. And Mayor Blackwell, Mayor Annette Blackwell, thank you for hosting us today here in Maple Heights. And also to the schools, I am grateful to be here. I see the students out in the back, so Let's give our students a quick round of applause. Hello, everybody. Those students, go Mustangs. To Council President Purnell Jones, to Dr. Perkins, again, thank you for hosting us today. To my great partner, Michael Jeans, who just keeps on going in this movement that Cuyahoga County, the region, are breaking out with incredible environmental reforms fast. Thank you. And obviously our interim sustainability director, Valerie Katz, who's moving over to Cuyahoga Green Energy with our director within the Cuyahoga Green Energy program, Mike Foley, who's really been championing this with Valerie. What is this? Well, first, as Congresswoman Chantel Brown mentioned, I mean, I have to thank her over and over again for your support of the Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill and the Inflation Reduction Act that you supported, you championed, but you also brought it home. You know, I mean, it helps when a congressperson gets the bill and brings it home too. And this is where this bill lands for us, you know, that the rubber meets the road when we're actually implementing in places like our schools here in Maple Heights. So thank you again, Congresswoman Brown, for continuing to make Cuyahoga County residents and especially our region students a priority. Students, it is important you are here today because you are the 100% stewards of our future and our climate. So thank you again, Mustangs, for being here, and our students that are a part of this high school and the district at large. Again, by voting for the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law and the Inflation Reduction Act, Congresswoman, you helped make this program, which we're here today to talk about, the Solar for Schools program, a reality. Solar for Schools program will not only promote renewable energy and efficiency for our school districts, but it will also provide a daily example of environmental responsibility to the students within the walls of the schools. You know, what's going to happen on your rooftops talks a lot about what's going to happen with our intentionality for a better climate. Reminds me of Victory Gardens back in the earlier days of the Second World War, when students were literally learning about community gardening. It matters that our students will have a command of other ways to power up, including our solar programs. Just this year, Cuyahoga County launched, as I mentioned, the Cuyahoga Green Energy initiative. We will be a public utility company that will be serving our county and beyond when what we're already doing with the first microgrid electrical utility in the United States. So give our, if you would, our team at Cuyahoga Green Energy a round of applause. We're breaking out with microgrid electric utility provision and literally providing a new source. So through the development of district microgrids, CGE will provide clean, reliable, locally produced energy to its customers, including schools. You'll hear more about the Cuyahoga Green Energy program from the county's interim director of sustainability, Valerie Katz, in a moment. But the Solar for Schools program aims to reduce electricity costs and regional greenhouse gas emissions while increasing equitable access to clean, local, renewable energy and providing educational opportunities for our students here K through 12 in Maple Heights and in our districts beyond. It's also jobs. In the future, these are green jobs, good green jobs that are working toward green energy and ultimately a green economy and ultimately a better planet. The Solar for Schools program is made possible through the partnership of Cuyahoga Green Energy and Growth Opportunities partners. And I'd like to take a moment to thank Michael Jeans. He's going to be up speaking in a minute, but again, President and CEO of Growth Ops, for his dedication and commitment to our county, our community, and to the environment. It's because of people like Michael and Areli, who's out here, his partner on all of this. Thank you for what you're doing to get this off the ground. The county specifically will subaward energy efficiency and conservation block grant funds in the amount of $95,000 to school districts to offset the cost of the solar installations. Growth Opportunity Partners will be providing forgivable loans, which will further alleviate the financial burden of the districts through forgivable loans of $50,000 per district. So that $145,000 in terms of install and forgivable loans makes it easier for our school districts to partner. I know many of you are here that have been strong advocates of alternative energy sources, and what better place than to start at our schools. I want to point out from the Ohio Environmental Council, Brian Siggers here today. Thank you for being here and for what all you do. You know, it's the advocates that make things happen. So thanks for being the wind in our sails. The school districts will own the solar systems, and they are now eligible to take advantage of the solar investment tax credits established through the Inflation Reduction Act's elective pay option. We're thrilled to see Solar for Schools program begin to take shape right here at home in Cuyahoga County, and we hope as this project expands, and there will be other districts in the future that will expand to, that the environmental innovation and progress for communities around this county will be a model for the country. Full circle, Want to say thank you to our Congresswoman for bringing it home and to the Biden-Harris administration for making this available. This matters. Thank you so much, Congresswoman, and everybody.
Good morning, everyone. This is a beautiful day. The sun is out. I can't wait for us to get our solar panels to take advantage of the next solar day. All right. Well, I want to take a moment and just talk about the educational programs here at Maple Heights. I had the great honor and pleasure of working with the school board, Maple Heights School Board, and Superintendent Charlie Keenan, where we brought an initiative closing the achievement gap to Maple Heights High School. It was all about helping our students who are at risk and to make sure that they stayed in school and they graduated, that they didn't get involved in destructive activities, and that we help them with the challenges in their life that were just keeping them from learning 2 + 2 = 4. And we did that. We worked with Students of Promise, and now the school system has created the ECAC program, and mentors are in the lives of the children here at Maple Heights since 2013. That's when we first brought it. And I'll say this about that. We started with 9th grade with the goal and the effort of putting a mentor in their lives and following them through 4 years until graduation. But in Maple Heights back in 2013, 3 years later, we had a graduation class. And I was amazed. I said, why would we have a graduation class after 3 years? And it was because some of our children had failed earlier grades. And when we engaged them, we helped them to recover their proper school credit and graduate on time. That was huge. There were actually 33 children. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, sir, but I think Maple Heights has the 96% graduation rate right now. So that's So these are the types of initiatives that will be supported by our solar panel and the savings that we get. And I've got a prepared speech, so I'm gonna read it because I don't want to miss any point. So standing here at Maple Heights High School in my District 8, I'm excited about the future of this school, as well as the 4 other schools that will be installing solar panels as part of this initiative. What really sticks with me is the profound impact the Solar for School programs will have in this district, my district, and beyond. Our schools will see a reduction in energy costs, which will free up resources that can be put back into the educational programs and the infrastructure improvements. I think it's fair to say that all schools are looking for ways to bring dollars back to the classroom. This is a really innovative and forward-thinking way to do that, while also helping our environment at the same time. This initiative aligns with the goals of County Council, and I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to District 11 County Councilwoman Sunny Simon, who has been a warrior for sustainability for many, many years. Councilwoman Simon has always been a supporter and advocate for the county's solar programs, and I know this one is no different for her. I'm especially glad that Euclid City School District and her district will be participating in the program. County Council has been steadfast in our efforts to promote sustainability, enhance educational outcomes, and drive economic development. The Solar for Schools initiative encapsulates all of these priorities, and we are proud to support the creation of a brighter, more sustainable future for our children. I'd like to extend a special thanks to Congresswoman Chantel Brown, a good friend of mine, whose support has been instrumental in making today a reality. As a former member of County Council, Congresswoman Brown understands the importance of local initiatives and has been a strong advocate in the county's work. Thank you, Congresswoman, for your unwavering support and for continuing to champion the needs of Cuyahoga County at the federal level. Solar for Schools is a, amen. Yes. Solar for Schools is a testament to what we can achieve when we work together towards a common goal. It represents a significant step forward for our schools, our environment, and our community as a whole. Today, we can celebrate the fact that Maple Heights High School will run not just on the brain power of its fantastic students, but now solar power too. Congratulations. I'd now like to introduce Maple Heights Mayor Annette Blackwell.
Good morning and thank you. Welcome to Maple Heights. It is so good to look out and see so many faces, so many partners, so many people that have been champion and supporters of Maple Heights for many years. Thank you, County Councilperson Pernell Jones Jr. for what you've helped to do here in this community in raising the achievement gap. And yes, we do have a 96% graduation rate. I want to tell you, whenever I call my county person and I say I need, he says, how much? I always have a number. I do want to acknowledge the other elected officials that are here with me this morning and members of the administration, Councilman Stafford Chenette, City Council President Ron Jackson. You see my police chief, fire chief, law director. Thank you guys for being here, and the Maple Heights Board of Education. For those members that are here from the Maple Heights Board of Education, because this would not happen without you guys seeing the vision, would you please stand? Thank you. Mike Foley called me probably a year and a half ago, Director of Sustainability, and he says, Mayor Blackwell, I think we can bring solar panels to your schools. What do I have to do? I said, let me make some phone calls because Mike, it's going to happen. Mike, it happened. I made the phone calls and it happened. But making phone calls was not enough. To my right is our Congresswoman Brown. She had to go to DC and do the things that would make this opportunity possible. And all I would have to do is make a phone call. Thank you for making it so easy. For our county executive, Chris Ronayne, who I've known for many, many years, thank you for being a man of your word. Thank you for speaking to regionalism in the way that you do. This is a model practice of what regionalism looks like. There's 59 communities and we're never left out. Actually, we're usually on the fast, like just the quick dial. Will you show up? Will you be there? I've got something for Maple Heights. That something for Maple Heights has evolved into why we're here today. There is more coming from this county, from the federal government for this city, and we are here to be the recipients. And thank you, all of you who help us bring it home. And to Michael Jeans, the gentleman you'll hear from, I think he's one of our last speakers. You will be changed forever. Wait till you hear from him. The enthusiasm. This was a vision he had many, many years ago. And I heard him the first time and I said, oh my gosh, I'm going to stick with this guy. I'm just going to follow him around and see what happens. This is what happens when you follow Michael Jeans around. And you believe and you become a mentor and a student and you just watch him. What he says he's going to do, he does it, and he does it in such a significant way, which is why we're here today. So as I share my prepared remarks, I wanted to give you some background of how important this is to this city, to this school district, and why I'm so excited to be here this morning. Today is exciting, but not only is it exciting, it's inspirational here in the city of Maple Heights and the Maple Heights High School. Students, hello. You guys look great. I can't wait for you to cheer and do what you do. Show off big, right? Make us look great, like you always do. But it's an exciting, inspirational day here in the city because this is a win for Maple Heights City Schools. I always want our children to see us win. It inspires them and encourages them and lets them know that we can do anything. I don't care what the challenges are. It confirms that we can do anything and we win a lot, not just on the football field or on the courts. We win in life. And this is an example of those wins, young people, today. Because it begins the work to bring sustainable technology to our city. This is just the beginning, and you'll hear more of that again from the illustrious Mr. Jeans. The hardworking people of this city now know that solar energy is accessible to them. It's for everyone, it's for us. And believe that this grant funding will also help them to minimize their high energy burden. As I look at what our residents face, We understand the poverty rate. We understand the challenges of single motherhood. We understand the challenges of sickness and disparities and all of those things. And so we're always looking, at least I do as the leader and the leaders in the city, of what we can do to address those issues, those things within our control, where we can move the needle and make things a little bit easier. This is one of those ways. And I understood that by studying Mr. Jeans, how much the energy burden costs. We have people who've had utility shutoffs, water cut off. And this is hot. We don't want anyone's utilities to be cut off in this kind of weather. And so this program, solar energy, and all the energy initiatives that are coming forth, which I know our congressman's going to just keep bringing it back here, and then our county executive is going to make sure we know about it, begins to relieve those burdens and those challenges. It's one less thing that people in the city have to worry about. It will also help them understand the commitment to clean energy and what they can do to be a part of this initiative, this movement. And so I want to say that the federal funds and all of the collaboration and partnerships that are represented here today, you help this administration, including our school board, because they're a part of this administration, they're just an arm and a phone call away, to make the people of this city feel recognized and valued as investments like these have immediate and measurable impact on their qualities of lives. And so as the mayor of the city, I say thank you. Thank you for helping the people of Maple Heights realize just how important they are and that they matter, and that people at the local level, at the state level, at the federal level, and nonprofit understand that they too are a part of this win, and they will win individually here at the schools, and then you'll hear soon all across this city, and I can't wait. Thank you so much for being here this morning. God bless.
Thank you, Mayor Blackwell. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, Representative Brown, Cuyahoga County Executive Ronayne, Mayor Blackwell, and our city council members, members of Maple Heights City Schools Board, our superintendent, Dr. Charlie Keenan, Maple Heights residents, and members of the press. That was a lot. My name is Dr. Markel Perkins, and I am the proud principal. I always say this. I am the proud principal of Maple Heights High School. We welcome you to Maple Heights High School for this momentous event. First, let me thank our outstanding cheerleading team, along with Coach Williams, for being here with us this morning. Also, our head football coach, Shaq Washington, is here with us, as are members of our varsity football team. Thank you all for being here this morning. Okay, to the business at hand. This initiative, Solar for Schools, it's an outstanding way for our schools to model the importance of not only talking the talk, but walking the walk when it comes to environmental responsibility and modeling our commitment to clean energy and conservation. Maple Heights City Schools is excited and humbled to participate in this endeavor as one of the school districts in our county to install solar panels on our schools. On behalf of our staff and our student body here at MHHS, which is committed to environmental responsibility and energy conservation, and our community, as Mayor Blackwell said, which our school serves as forward-thinking and proactive when it comes to our commitment to this initiative. We thank you for this bold step and leadership when it comes to solar power and conservation. I said in a recent interview, the best is yet to come for Maple Heights High School and Maple Heights City Schools. And now the best is yet to come for the city of Maple Heights and Cuyahoga County as well. I hope other school districts will join us in this endeavor as it shows our commitment to our future. Thank you for this great honor. Thank you. With that being said, please join me in welcoming to the podium the Growth Opportunity Partners CEO, Mr. Michael Jeans. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I have shifted from my prepared remarks because I think you heard a lot of what I was going to say a moment ago from an incredible group of leaders who represent each of us. So with that, I would like to first thank Dr. Perkins for opening up your home and the home of the students here. I want to talk to you a bit about that in a moment. Congresswoman Chantel Brown, I just want to say part of my role at Growth Ops and as a community leader is to connect dots. I think sometimes we forget all the dots that could and should be connected when our congressional leaders who live here but represent us in Washington, D.C., represent us. And today is an example of how that comes together. Regardless of where you live, regardless of where you work, regardless of where you play, our Congresswoman Chantel Brown is relentlessly representing your today and your tomorrows without diluting the past that got us all here. Thank you, Representative Brown. County Executive Chris Ronayne, another fearless leader. Chris shows up. If I don't see Chris, I see Chantel, and usually I see them together because they're covering the landscape. We can't all be in the same place, and the we I'm talking about is everyone in this room. We can't always be in all the places we want to be or that we could or should be, and that's why we have elected officials who will be there when we cannot, who can be in the rooms when we weren't added to the roles. And that's okay when you've elected leaders like this because they speak on our behalf, but before they get to the microphone to speak, thank goodness they've listened to the people. Thank you, Chris Ronayne, County Executive, Cuyahoga County. To your Mayor, Annette Blackwell, it's easy to stand up when everything is going perfect. It's easy to do the job when everyone says, it's great, you're great, whatever you want, you have it. It is not as easy to stand up when you have so many constituents who have so many needs and you have an enterprise, a business to run, but for the benefit of the people. I couldn't do what we're doing now in Maple Heights without a mayor who says this is where it should begin, without a mayor who says our citizens and our residents, they deserve this, without a mayor who says, what is it that I can do to make it easier for you to do business here? But then the ask came, when you do the business here, Michael, can you be here? Can you talk to our students? Can you be in this place that you told me, and I'll share with you, I grew up just down the road from this place. My grandparents bought a home just down the hill in the 50s. They were part of the Great Migration. But we drove the car up the road to Mike's, I think it was, the station there, and he washed the windows and we'd head on. And I'd ride my bike to Barona's Bakery and we'd get the cassata cake that apparently I couldn't ride on my bike back home with. And so someone else would come back and get it. I have a fondness for Maple Heights. And so I hope you understand the heart that comes along with the head of this work. And for us to start here in Maple Heights with a fearless, incredible leader like Mayor Blackwell, I hope you know how fortunate you are. As I travel the world and the country, they're not all made like this. And so appreciate her while you can. Please, Mayor Blackwell. Solar for schools and solar for all are two different things. And I'd like to do one last dot connect. And that is when you think of your elected officials, you think about government and how that shows up on the ground. I want you and students, I hope you hear this because you remind me a lot of myself when I was your age. I'd like to tell you that was not too long ago, but it was longer than I'd like to tell you. You know, the role of your leaders here and elsewhere, but the role of your leaders here are to set things in motion and to sail. But you're the winds in the sail. That's why we're here. You know, we can put things in motions. We can send out as many boats as we'd like, but you're the wind. You're what moves it and allows us to get this where it needs to be. And so we're starting in Maple Heights. I am honored to start here in Maple Heights, and we're starting with rooftops on the high school here, and that's under the Solar for Schools. That was largely the thought leadership of Cuyahoga County, the executive, Chris Ronayne, Mike Foley, Valerie Katz. We're going to go further with that with Solar for All. And Solar for All is one of the pieces of legislation that came through the Inflation Reduction Act, the Bipartisan Inflation Reduction Act that our Congresswoman Brown supported. The Growth Opportunity Partners had an application, and our application allowed us to be awarded $156 million. Thank you. $156 million to put solar panels on the rooftops of low-income individuals without any cost to you. If you're listening, If you're watching, without any cost to you, I will say, give us some time. We're working with EPA to activate this, but that was our application, and that's what we're going to do. Why was that important? Because economics should not be the barrier to clean living. Where you live and where your address is should not be a barrier to clean living. And so if there's going to be anything that we can do, all of us in this room, that rides on the heels of what our Congresswoman has set in motion, what our county executive has set in motion, and what your mayor has set in motion, it is not to continue to talk about what we can do, but it's to do it, to capitalize it, and do it in a way that leaves no one behind. I'm honored to lead that work at Growth Opportunity Partners. I will tell you this, and I'm told I shouldn't make forward-facing comments, but we're all just getting started. We're beginning with the rooftop here at Maple Heights High School, but this rooftop provides shelter and cover for students, for teachers, for visitors, and all who might come and experience the Mustang experience here in Maple Heights. And so I look forward to meeting you in your homes. I look forward to hearing the goals that you have in this community. And I absolutely look forward to following the leadership that you see to your left and my right, as I am not a Mustang, but I am an honorable, proud citizen and leader of this county and this 11th congressional district. It's my honor, and I look forward, along with my colleagues, to continue to serve you. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Valerie Katz, who is the interim director, Cuyahoga County. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you all for coming here and for being here. I'm last. And again, we're very excited to have you here. But I just want to talk for a few minutes about the goals of this program, and also to talk a little bit about how the program is going to work. So one of our most immediate goals for this program is to make the process of installing solar as easy as possible for our partner school districts. We understand that school administrators are busy people with busy jobs and a lot on their plates. So we are using this program to organize the process for them, to work through the details, to work through the nuances, and to get these systems installed on these school properties. Another important immediate goal of this program is to make these systems as affordable as possible. And we're doing this, the program is doing this in a number of different ways. So first of all, we're doing this by helping to reduce the overall cost of the systems. So we're using these federal dollars through the Inflation Reduction Act, as well as the contributions of growth opportunity partners, to significantly reduce the upfront cost of the systems. Number two, we're using this program to help the districts take full advantage of the available solar tax credits, which, as Representative Brown mentioned, are available to them for the first time under the through the Inflation Reduction Act, through the IRA. Prior to the Inflation Reduction Act, schools would not have been able to access these tax credits, but now they can. And so this will further offset the cost of the systems. And lastly, we're organizing this process as a bulk purchase arrangement. So we will be selecting one installer to do the installations for all 5 districts, with the idea that we will hopefully procure more favorable pricing compared to if each district had installed the systems independently or procured their systems independently. And I should mention that we have 2 other very important partners. We are working with the Ohio Schools Council, which is a governmental organization that, among other things, does energy procurement for schools. So the Ohio Schools Council is well positioned to help organize the bid, to engage installers, and help the schools select a reputable installer to do the installations. And we're also working with nonprofit solar advocacy organization, Solar United Neighbors. They've been a partner to us in other endeavors, and they're working with us to provide guidance and to organize the process as well. And really what we're looking to do is we're looking to create a solar footprint amongst these 5 districts that can be built upon and expanded into the future. So hopefully amongst these districts, these won't be the last installations, but hopefully amongst other districts as well throughout Cuyahoga County. Our long-term goals, importantly, are to reduce regional greenhouse gas emissions by deploying as much renewable energy as we can. Also to provide cost savings and energy savings for the districts that can be reinvested into other programming, and then very importantly, to provide educational opportunities for the students at these schools. We know that high school students and middle school students are learning about climate change. They're learning about the benefits of renewable energy, and this Solar for Schools program will be bringing renewable energy to them so that they can learn about it right there on site at their own schools. So again, we're very grateful to Representative Brown and to all of our other partners, to Growth Ops, and we're especially grateful for these 5 districts who have risen their hands and stepped up and agreed to be part of this process. And I'm hoping that we can all come back together again when the systems are actually installed so we can see the physical benefits of this program and see those panels once they're in place. So thank you all.
Thank you again, Valerie. I'll just say a few words to close. The Solar for Schools program would not be possible without collaboration, creativity, and cooperation. This is a big win for Maple Heights and the other districts in Cuyahoga County that are taking part in this program. Solar for Schools is innovative, impactful, and equitable. Clean energy, clean air, lower energy costs. These can't just be things that the wealthiest school districts enjoy. Students and the community here in Maple Heights deserve clean air and clean energy just as much as anyone else. And I can't wait to see the solar panels installed either. And here and across the county for the schools that are participating. So once again, I want to thank you all for your participation and joining us today. If there are any questions from the media, we can take a couple of questions now. And if not, we're going to present our check. Any questions? Oh, yes. Okay.
So we still have to do the procurement and, figure out the details, but we've done some modeling around this, and our goal is to install 200 kilowatt systems at each of the schools. So that amounts to roughly 500 panels per district. The schools could choose to put a little bit more money into the program as well on their end. They could do larger systems, or if they want to, if they decide they can't afford for that to pay the difference for those size systems, they could do a little bit less. But we're shooting for 200 kilowatt systems because amongst those 5 districts, that would be 1 megawatt of solar. So it will vary from district to district, but our modeling that we've done along with Solar United Neighbors, our modeling shows us that the schools will realize roughly per district, maybe $30,000 to $40,000 per year in savings. Those savings will go up over time as the cost of grid-based electricity increases. And, after the systems, our modeling tells us that the systems will pay for themselves in between 4 to 6 years. So after that time, it's really just free electricity. And as we see the price of grid electricity go up, those systems will continue to offer more savings. Yeah, so based on the going rate of solar, a 200 kilowatt system will cost roughly $400,000 to $450,000. But again, with the tax incentives and with the government funding and with the Growth Ops funding, the systems will cost a lot less for the schools. We're working through government paperwork right now. So we've got contracting that we're working through. We're hoping to select the installer by the end of the summer, late summer, early fall. And if that timeline manifests, then we're hoping to see the installations happen in the fall. If we don't reach that target, it's hard to install systems over the winter. So if we have to push it back into spring, we'll do that, but we're shooting for fall. Well, that's a great question. So we were really looking to engage districts that are racially diverse, socioeconomically diverse, and also districts that are in areas that are maybe subject to a higher than average pollution or particulate matter. So we looked at the White House's climate and economic justice screening tool that they use to help identify districts that, or identify census tracts that meet those criteria. And so we reached out to those districts in the county that were identified within that White House screening tool. And we actually, through the Ohio Schools Council, reached out to the superintendents. And these 5 districts, these were the superintendents that raised their hands and said, we want to be involved, and who have been incredibly responsive since we engaged them.
Thank you all. So to conclude, most importantly, I have a check to present y'all. So I'd like to invite our speakers to come forward so we can get a photo with this check for Cuyahoga County.